Hey everyone, it's morning show time again. I'm wearing my brightest clothes. I want to tell you a little story, but I don't want to take up a lot of your time. We got a great show today. We got Jesus Trejo, stand-up comedian extraordinaire, talking about the value of friendship and empathy. We got Hank Green over there in Missoula, Montana. Missoula, Alangada. He's got some bad furniture on deck. He ran into a real couch.
This time, this time, this time, you and me. This time.
I thought you might enjoy this. I went into Guitar Center the other day to try to find a new microphone, really upping the production value of this show. We're trying to. But I found that I couldn't afford it. So if you want to sponsor the channel, there's a button. And the microphone guy was helping somebody else, so I was looking at the vast wall of guitars. And while I was doing so, an incredibly pleasant hipster who worked there came up to me and said, "You a guitar player?" And I said I was, back in my younger days. And then he handed me a pick and he says, "Maybe this will bring you back." And that was the most cinematic conversation I've ever had in my life. That was the Guitar Center version of Kissing in the Rain. If I had the money, and this is no joke, I would have bought 8 guitars from that young man in hopes that he would go home thinking that he changed my life forever. 5 o'clock rolls around, that kid goes back to his apartment in Silver Lake and throws his zip-up hoodie over the back of his favorite chair and sits down and slips off his Vans one by one, like if Mr. Rogers was the lead singer of Panic at the Disco. And his girlfriend goes, "Well, what are you so happy about?" And he goes, "Oh, nothing." And because he's being shady, his girlfriend thinks he's cheating, but he knows that he just sold 9 guitars. And all because in this scenario, I'm rich. And I felt like fucking with somebody. Was a very sweet young man. Speaking of which, this is my friend Noah, and now he did this to his head, and I actually love it because it looks like every pair of pants I wore in 1994. Great job, Noah. If you don't know who Noah is, go follow him immediately. It's a funny boy, and his head looks like sherbet. Noah, you look like a toy that is only fun to play with at the beach. Another quick thought, I've been watching The Marvelous Miss Maisel. That's a fun show. It took me a little while to get into it, but I like how everyone speaks in perfect joke structure. That's my favorite. "Well, I was born at night, but it wasn't last night." And then everybody laughs. It's a simpler time. Please enjoy the rest of the show, for God's sakes. And if you want more, subscribe for more. And if you like it, click this. And also click the bell. You got to click this so other people know you like it. And then you got to click the bell because the subscription thing isn't enough. That's like if you subscribe to a magazine and you used to be able to find it, but now you're like, put a bell on it.
This is Hank Green in Missoula, Montana. And Mike, I found you some bad furniture. It's free! Can you zoom in on the little oh, they're so pretty. They're very good little houses. Look at the houses.
Jesus Trejo, meet anyone who's watching right now, Jesus Trejo. Jesus is one of my favorite. Host is one of my absolute favorite comedians. One of the things that I want to talk to you about today is I think that with some shades of gray, there's like 2 different types of people. There's very selfless people and there's very selfish people. And they have this like relationship. I'm going to call it a symbiotic relationship.
You like that?
But I don't know if that's exactly what that means. Like one of them feeds off the other one. Like really selfish people will kind of have a tendency to get everything they possibly can out of the selfless people.
Sure.
And it's kind of easy to get discouraged by that. And it's also not very easy to pick up on that's happening. But you're one of the most selfless people in a very like selfish industry. You know, how do you remain nice. Because I'd very much like to remain nice, and I think you got a good.
You've always been nice, so I think.
So far, so good, but I feel it slipping away.
Yeah, sure. But I think what it comes down to, it's look. There's a time and place for everything. It's like we hear that, so it's like at one point it's like they have to coexist. Yes, and yes, they feed off of each other. And there's a time where one becomes selfish. It's like there's a time to be selfless, and they kind of go hand in hand. It's almost like when you're a baby.
Yeah.
You're born, and we're pretty selfish. I want this. I want that. I'm crying. Give me attention. And eventually you become to the point where you're self-sufficient, and then you can return the attention and be selfless. So I think they have to coexist.
Right. It also doesn't mean, I didn't mean to make it sound like you have to do one or the other all the time. It's unrealistic to be like completely selfless angel person at all times.
Yeah, and I think even people who are like, hey, I'm nice, there's a selfish thing there too. It's
you can't tell someone that
it's for myself. It's for myself that I'm being nice. I get a gratification out of being nice, and
I guess just how do you keep in a positive mind frame? My dad, I remember I was searching around in the basement one day. That was like my favorite thing to do when I was little, is just go in the basement and see what I could find. One time I found this book called The Joy of Sex, and I thought it was a Bible. And it was not. That was wrong. It was different. But there was this penny that my dad or my grandpa had, and it was like a penny. It was surrounded by like another coin with writing on it, and that coin said like, if you keep this, you'll never be broke, right? And it was like nice little comforting joke. But I always felt that like, if you were nice and you were living your life to what you thought like the best possible version of you, as far as like how you treat other people and having empathy and stuff, then you could find comfort in the fact that like those people still existed because like you're one of them.
And also you got to get the penny back to whoever owned it first. It was your grandfather.
I'm almost positive. Oh, great.
Oh no.
This camera does this once in a while. I don't know why that happens.
In the middle of recording, it does it?
Yeah, man.
Oh no.
Terrible. Well, worst comes to worst, we have it all on this, so I could find some way to piece it together.
Or you can start it back up. You were saying about the penny?
Yeah, man, I don't remember what I was talking about. If it's okay with you, I'd like to tell you a little bit about where I'm going to be appearing. Right now, I'm going to the Mike Falzone app, absolutely free. You can see all my tour dates all in one convenient place. Not now because my internet is Okay, June 8th, my dad's birthday. I'm going to be at the West Side Comedy Theater. June 14th, I'm at the Rhino Comedy Club in New York, coming to you East Coast time, Eastern Standard friends. July 15th, I'm at the Fairfield Comedy Club in Fairfield, Connecticut. July 2nd, the first Monday in July, Sean Joshi and friends at the world famous Laugh Factory. If you want to come to that show, just inbox me somewhere, preferably on Twitter or Facebook. Tell me you want to come, and I will try to get you on the guest list. July 21st will be the next Friends and Friends crowd work show. Always a good time. Also in Los Angeles. July 31st, I'm at the Comedy Store for the Roast Battle pre-show. September 21st, back in Santa Monica, and so many Lily shows along the way in betwixt. So you always got to keep up to date. MikeFalzone.com or the Mike Falzone app. Just follow me on Twitter. We'll talk. Just ask me personally when my shows are, and I'll come to your house and I'll whisper it into your dad's ear or mouth. Love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. This show comes out every Tuesday and every Friday. So I'll see you on the next one of those. Peace out. What if somebody did peace like this? Peace. They didn't know. They always thought, because they always just saw somebody do it quickly, they're like, all right, man, peace out. Peace. Are you giving two people peace at the same time? All right, you guys, both of you, peace out. All right, this is too long.